We are back on the Power Lunch Town Hall meeting. We're here answering your questions, looking for opportunities in times of crisis as we're in right now. And Dennis, you're looking at some of the recovery periods, the longer-term recoveries that we've seen in the past, right?
That's right. You have to, given the way stocks are getting clobbered, and they're getting clobbered again today. But you know what? They will come back one day. Now, Ariel Nelson and our stats department, he's actually in the audience here. They looked at 13 recessions since World War II. They found it took an average of 3 years to get from market bottom back up to the old top. Fastest rebound, 186 days in 1991. And get this, in the two most recent bear markets, 1992, 2001, the Dow surged up 20% in just the first 20 to 40 trading days after hitting the low. But so far, no rebound this time. Let's touch moves first and look at what happened in the past year or so. Now, if you had put in $100 in the S&P 500 in October 2007, that's when everything kind of topped out, by yesterday, that $100 turned into $54. That's a compounded annual return of minus 36%. Now, that hurts, and that's including reinvested dividends, okay? But had you invested $100 in October of 2002, see, this only tells half the story, that downside. Things turned out quite nicely. It grew to $220, annual return 17% per year for that entire 5-year run. And what about the really long term, okay? If you put $100 in 1995 and just sat on it, they say buy and hold is dead. Turned into $243, annual return 6.5%, even after the slaughter in stocks for the past year. 1988 to today, return 8% or so. So, don't give up the hope. Let's toss them shell.
All righty, let's talk more about those stats and talk more about market psychology. Market psychologist Doug Hirschhorn is here, and Donny Deutsch, he's chairman of Deutsch, Inc., and author of The Big Idea. Guys, good to see you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, that's right.
Before we get into it, though, the power of these town halls, I'd like you to get a close-up. We have a special guest in the audience, Lloyd Blankfein, the CEO. Can we go to him right there, guys? You close-up on my guy here? There is Lloyd Blankfein, the CEO of Goldman Sachs, is here today. Look at that. He comes to our town halls.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
You know, I was listening to Dennis, and we've been hearing this over and over again. When things look awful, that's when you should get in. It's one thing to know that mentally. It's another thing to be willing to do it.
Total disconnect is there's a behavioral experience we're all going through, and Dennis and I talked about it a while ago. We all understand the processes, and we hear about things, and we want to change things, but behaviorally, we are locked into fear. And until we start to see things changing in the economy around us, it takes a very brave, courageous person to step out there, make the investment on themselves and the things that they're looking for.
Yeah, but let me challenge that for a second. That fear, in this case, maybe is okay. One of your earlier guests said this is unprecedented in what's happening in the economy. It's unprecedented what the government is doing. So my advice to people, whether you are starting a business, investing, it's better to miss an opportunity right now than blow up. And I think that's intelligent psychology. I don't think that's fearful psychology. I think everybody wants to get to another day. And nobody wants to do fatal things at this point. So I think at this point, a little fear is not such a crazy thing. I mean, that's the way I run my business. That's the way I invest my portfolio.
And tremendous success. And that's great to hear from someone with life experience to give that advice. The thing that investors get caught up in is they don't know when is too low. So we keep on hearing, well, this is the bottom, and this is the bottom. And then we're kind of saying, well, maybe I should just wait. The only danger is if you wait for that perfect moment, you're going to miss an opportunity to get
those
more.
unprecedented
Which is what you're saying.
I'd rather miss an opportunity than blow up. And my psychology was, as a business person, is I'm very aggressive, I'm very hungry, I go for the jugular. But in this world, because there is with all the brilliant people in the world, we don't know the answer. Anybody who says they do is out of their minds. And to me, when there's a big question mark, it's okay to go a little bit like this.
Let's get some questions from the audience.
We have a question right here. What's your name?
Chris.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Now, what's your question, Chris?
My question is now a good time to start a business?
Chris, I'll take that one. It's interesting. The counterintuitive answer is yes. Most people would say, oh, now you can't get money from banks, people aren't lending. But here's the reason why. First, from a psychological point of view. The reason to not start a business is, well, my job is safe, and, I'm going to kind of go to the status quo. We know right now you cannot depend on the institutions. Even if you have a job, so now more than ever, it's like, what the heck, I'm going to bet on me.
Wait a minute, what'd you say?
I said I lost it already, so...
Okay, so even if someone hasn't. Number two also, the price of entry. All of a sudden you've got vendors that are hungry, suppliers, manufacturers, people that will work on the come, so the access points that you didn't have before because it was too expensive to build a prototype, or it was too expensive to do this, are there. Finally, at the same time right now, there are so many good people on the street you can bring in as partners, and people are looking for new ideas. If it's in the categories of anything children-related, anything health-related, anything escapist-related, those are recession-proof areas. And I say, now what the heck? And guess what? Banks aren't lending. Find 20 people you know, get them to give you $1,000. Friends and family are the best resources right now, because now more than ever they'll go, maybe I'll bet on you also. So now is a good time with the right idea.
And Chris is looking for a partner with suspenders, too. So Thank you very much.
That one, right?
Touche. Sue?
And Donny will probably give you $2,000. He's a nice guy.
Yes, I will.